Greetings, my dear viewers, and welcome back to Let's Play RimWorld, a Let's Play that I started about half a year ago and that I haven't really touched since. I do apologize for that. You know how life goes. Actually, I went through a rather rough phase. I lost my job, which wasn't nice. I had a lot of time, but absolutely no motivation to do anything. And afterwards, the exact opposite happened. I found a job and now I'm swamped with work, which means I have a great desire to play games and to record games, but I have absolutely no time to do so. Today is my day off though. I do have certain tasks to do around the household, which I am currently actively avoiding. So you guys are supposed to help me with that. And that is by having a look at this precious little gem, RimWorld. I have been playing RimWorld for several years now, on and off. Last time the video that I showed you, it actually featured version 16. But now we are in Alpha 17. Actually, yesterday I think it was, that an unstable version of Alpha 18 was released. I'm not going to play that just now. Mainly because it mostly adds features that I have already artificially added by using a mod called Psychology. So yeah, I'm going to show you the differences just in a moment. Also, in the very first introduction video that I made, I explained that I wanted to have my name and game character, Greenbear, and have him being joined by two other characters that you are supposed to name, and those three should try to survive this planet and get off of it. Yeah, but since it is a new version, I had to start a new colony, and I have already done all the preparations. Don't you worry about that. No planning ahead just now. So as soon as I click on this load button, we will be taken directly to the map. But since this game always crashes when I have fraps enabled and click on the load button, I will see you in a second. So here we are. This is our new hunting grounds. Let's take a look at the map just really quickly. We are... Oh, it has to generate the planet. Right here. There are some friendly factions rather nearby, and the terrain is mostly large hills with an acceptable winter temperature. I have played some rather nasty biomes lately, so I'm happy about not having to cope with minus 40 degrees for now. But still, I'm playing random on rough with permadeath enabled. So there is a rather big chance that my colonists will not survive the very first year. In any case, this is the map. As you can see, I haven't even touched the resources that spawn at the beginning of the game yet. Just want to show you there are really big mountains here. Like this, and even some food here. And I've already did all the planning here, because that always takes up quite some time for me. I always wanted to be perfect, and then I end up with something like this that might just work out, but doesn't look pretty at all. But I kind of forgot where we will crash down, so let's have a look at that by starting the game. There we are. Oh, very close actually. That's neato. Now, we will, of course, first thing we do is enable everything. We need all the wood and all the iron just to start. And let me just quickly figure out who my best shooter is. It's Greenie. Greenie will get the rifle, and that's that. Now, while I start with the things that I always start with, and that is building a very basic shelter right here, or rather my colonists will do that. I will explain to you the colonists. Let me introduce you to, well, first Greenbear. You already know me. This time around, I actually started by clicking on the randomize button up until I hit this one. He will always show up since I have told the game so right here. Names of player created characters you want to see. Of course, I want to see myself. It's the only name in game character that I know of. So I want this one to show up. So of course, whenever you click randomize, there is a certain chance, a certain higher chance than any other pawn, that it will show up. The stats and features and traits and so on are always randomized for the character. Just the name is always the same. Actually, I changed my nickname, which I didn't know I could do, but yeah, it's possible. But this is me, so to say. I was a medical assistant, which you can see here. I'm the doctor of the group. I'm an expert in medicine. Also, I'm a shooter, so I will be the bodyguard of the group. And, well, everything else is kind of mediocre. And I will probably also start the research for my group. Sadly, I'm a greedy person, that much is true. But I'm also happy, so that should balance each other out. Now, they are done here, so I will just have them build some beds for the first night. I always choose 4 beds in the beginning because often a wanderer joins very early on, so that they have a spot to sleep. And also it is highly important that I start creating my growing zones quickly on. First one is for potatoes. Second one, you can see the big R, at least I hope you can, is of course for rice. Next, I think the C is for corn. And since the last time I played this, like half a year ago, they have somewhat changed the planting times, or rather the time it takes for corn to be ripe, and for other vegetables as well, because corn just takes ages to be ripe. I hope I can manage in the how long was it? Come here. In the 40 days. That is more than 2 months. 1 month consists of 15 days in this world. So yeah, we start in April, May, 1st of April, May, already 6 days gone of that, but we still have 34 days, if my math is correct. Yeah, 34 days. I hope I'll manage. Theoretically, that should work out. But yeah, so we have corn here. Let's just do all the zones. Right here, I put down another C, which is for cotton. Now, I just told you about my winter biome, and in that, most of my characters simply died from hypothermia because I just couldn't get them warm clothes. There were no traders ever to be seen around in that area, and I had no cotton because there was snow everywhere, so they just shivered to death very slowly. Next up, we should get some medicine, which I'm currently not seeing there. Heal root. Oh, first problem of the day. Heal root requires 8 skill in growing, and none of us has that. So I'll just keep this for now. No one will touch it because it's too difficult. And over here, I put down a D for drugs. I will produce some marijuana right here, which is legal on RimWorlds. Right, that's good. Now, next up, there's so many little things that you have to do in the first minutes of the game. I always put anything down right here on all times, on all hours, so they can decide for themselves at which time they want to sleep, want to work, want to eat, want to have fun, and so on. That's entirely up to them. Unless one of them is a night owl. In that case, I always tell them to go to sleep during the day. For example, here. Big Mac. That is our second character. He was suggested by one of you guys. Sorry, I didn't write down the names of the guys suggesting it, but yeah, I had 2 suggestions. Great, two suggestions, so that works perfectly for me. And one of them was Big Mac. Someone said Big Mac is a funny name for a character, so here you go. Big Mac is a video gamer, funnily enough. He has my favorite shape in the game. I really like this, the slim body and this spiky hair. That's a funny combination. His real name is Ryan Young. He's not young at all. He's 51. And he will be our secondary doctor, but mainly our cook. You can see he used to be a spaceship chef, so he can continue this tradition. He is also much more intellectual than me, so he can do the research while I do the heavy lifting. I mean, I look like a brute. But yeah, he's also a night owl, which means we have to put him to sleep during the day. I usually choose 6 hours during the daytime, from 11 to 16. If they need more sleep, then they may just keep on sleeping during the day. But that way I avoid having a mood loss during the day. Our third character is Lighthand. Now, I think it was Garotha who told me to use this name, and Garotha also told me a really, really moving, melancholic story about why I should use this name in particular. You can read it up in the comments beneath the very first video of this playlist. Yeah, I feel you, man. I feel you. I haven't quite been there in the same situation, but I've lost friends as well due to certain circumstances, and I envy you for finding a new best friend. That must be a great feeling. So Lighthand is, I think, our youngest member. He was 51, I'm 41, I'm an old guy, and Lighthand is only 23. Her childhood she spent as a music lover, which I guess gives her artistic skills. She's not much of a fighter, really, but she can do all this, and these are very important things. These 3 right here in the beginning: construction, growing, and mining. Those are very important. Now, psychology, the mod that I mentioned earlier, it adds several new interesting traits. For example, she's a gourmet, which means she likes very particular fine food, which I'm not able to produce just yet. And a funny coincidence that I noticed while choosing the characters is that all gourmets are unable to cook for some reason. I don't know why that is, but it's really, I guess it's just to make it more difficult to please them, to make this a tricky trade, so to say. Yeah, but whatever. She's also a nudist. I really don't mind having a 23-year-old naked girl running around. Actually, let me assign her just now, while it's still warm, to be a nudist. That should make her happy. And my guys as well, I suppose. And she's also abrasive, so she just talks her mind.